Hey everyone, Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. Well, I think the writing's on the wall. I think hard times are coming. I hate to be the person of bad news, but I I feel like it's in my gut. I kind of went through this in the 2008, 2006. I don't remember what exactly year it was when everything went crashing down. Um, but this time might be a little different. I don't know if this fuel thing that's going on is going to be a catalyst for everything else, but it is definitely something to consider that we might have fuel shortages in the future here. Been listening a little bit here and there and reading some stuff, and I didn't notice that, or I didn't realize that there is a shortage of truck drivers. Now, I just wanted to come on here and express that to you because in my business, in my life, in my surroundings, I am seeing a lot of people that I admired and respected and worked with over the years that are actually throwing in the towel. They're actually cashing in and calling it early retirement. And that's sad because I don't see a lot of the generation coming to fulfill that spot fast enough. I'm not saying they're not out there. It's just that they're not prepared, or there's just nobody to replace, to fill those shoes right now. So it makes me concerned. So I think what I'm trying to get at a little bit, a lot of things kind of going on. So the one thing I want you to know is that you can't, right now is time to conserve, right? Right now is to protect the heart, right? You got your arms and your limbs and that, you can live without a finger and stuff, and you can deal with a shot through the hand or maybe the arm and that, but you get the one in the heart, and it's game over. So right now in your business, you need to be preparing, prepping yourself, and I really feel like it's a matter of, you need to be honest with the customers and explain the situations. The reason I got the two trucks here is I'm debating about getting a new truck and whatnot. And for instance, here, this truck right here, it needs a little bit of work done to it. It needs a power steering pump, and it needs a radiator. The radiator is leaking a little bit in it. Nothing detrimental, right? Nothing detrimental. It's not going to blow up tomorrow. It's not going to blow up next week. I've been running it. It's fine. I could do it. I just don't have the time right now. So I called the shop that did the last repair, and they did a good job. And they told me on the phone that they just got back. So 2 days ago, they just got back, and they've been off for 2 weeks with the cough syndrome. So that's not good, because that means I got pushed back farther in line, right? So I'm having this debate where it's like, do I just do new and we're saved for a little bit and we don't have to deal with this and the shortages and the labor force? But then obviously you got to deal with the payment. But the problem is with that too is you have to be conscious that with that payment, with the explosion that might happen, which right now for like our business, we still have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. But I don't want you to overstretch yourself. I cannot stress that enough. And it comes back down to the whole distance thing and traveling. You really got to protect the beehive. I just cannot stress that enough, because the farther you get out, the more liabilities, the more chances you have of getting in an accident. And right now you don't want a vehicle or anybody to get hurt because you basically can't afford it. So you have to really watch what you're doing right now. I've been through this before, and it seems all doom and gloom, but things will turn back around eventually, but I don't know when. So this time might be a little different. They might use this as a catalyst. We never know what the powers that be are doing. We don't know if they're trying to push the whole electric stuff going on, electric cars. And so this will be another, the shortages, and then people get kind of overwhelmed and say, when these electric cars coming out, I'm getting myself an electric car because I have electricity at my house and I can charge it and I don't have to go to the gas station. We don't know. We really don't know. There's so many things that behind the doors that we'll never know about. So another thing is like, so Big Red here's got to go in. They're basically a week behind. So this thing needs brakes. I just threw some new tires in the front so they could do a front end alignment with no complaints, because we know how that's going to go. If I don't have good tires on it, they're going to say, well, the tires in the front, that's why we couldn't get the alignment quite right. but they're a week out. Well, now you think of it, this van is it's basically, it's not safe to drive anymore. And if, you know, they're out a week, that my productivity goes down a week. You know what I mean? My stuff gets pushed out in a sense. So I'm losing my tools, my crib. Now I could throw it over and it just becomes a big headache. But then the problem is when you put stuff in this vehicle, you know, things are out in the weather. You got to handle it 3 times more. You got to park it inside, or it's got theft if you're at a place. So there's a lot of things to think about. But I just wanted to come on here for just a short minute and tell you guys that, you know, don't be fearful. But I'm telling you, there's plenty of work out there right now. Tons of work out there. And you need to slow down. You need to make sure you're telling the customers the vital things. Say, sorry, we can't get to you. Like for instance, in our business, right now, we're still taking the new installs. So like residential openers and the residential garage doors, but we're trying to stay away from the service side of it a little bit because there's just not, it's too quick. It's too much interaction. It's too much, I got to drop what I'm doing and I got to run. You know what I mean? We got too many big jobs right now that are paying thousands of dollars versus a couple $100s. And that's the thing you guys got to always be thinking about is the margins. All right. Is the margins on things. You know, it's a bigger margin on when you're dealing with something that's $10,000 versus something that's $10. It's very easy to isolate a $10 item to, you know, what a candy bar and stuff is versus something that's as big as, like I always say, houses and roofs and package deals. It's hard to calculate that all down and understand the labor. There's just something behind it. I don't understand it. I don't get it, but it is what it is. So basically hold tight. You know, I wouldn't make any huge jumps right now in your business. I would kind of stay conservative a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying, but the thing is you almost got to be looking a year ahead right now. So if you really do need another service vehicle, you better try to start planning. It's going to be a year before you get it, because to get it built with the chip shortages, I know my own brother-in-law is, their lots are empty. You know, I've been looking and, you know, with the chip shortages, it's a mess. It's absolute a mess. So I'm glad we got the newer vehicles in the fleet. This one, I'm still really happy that I got to try it out, but here we go again. Now we're dealing with the unknown, and that's what I don't like. So we're going to take this in. If I had to guess, it could be anywhere from $2,800 to $3,000 to get this van repaired what it needs to bring it up to snuff. I knew it was going to be coming down the pipeline. I seen it in the wintertime, but I pushed it off until now. So it's just, sometimes you got to understand that sometimes payments are not bad, you know, because it's a fixed number, you know, and you can budget it, but these can turn into variables. If you run older vehicles, the transmission goes out, now you got a $3,000 bill that came out of nowhere, and now you got to take it in, and now you got to deal with the downtime, and then you got to deal with the mechanic that you hope you have a good mechanic and he knows what he's doing, that he does it right. A lot of things that go into it. So I definitely understand why big corporations typically lease buildings versus own buildings. It's a lot easier to call and say, hey, the roof's leaking, come fix it. You know what I mean? Versus they got to call the contractor, they got to find the person. They, you know, it's almost like they have another person working for them. So everything is always different. Every business is slightly different. So just use your best judgment. Try to use common sense. Don't try to over leverage yourself too much, but don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Like I said, things will turn back around. If things seem like they're doom and gloom right now, eventually, look at, we got through the 2006, 7, 8 era, and just think of what you would have done back then. You know, that you would have done maybe in this situation, this time around. But this one might be a little different. We'll see how this one goes. But all we can do is just, you know, enjoy what God has given us. You know what I mean? Beautiful day, the sun's shining, and just take it for that. Sometimes you got to turn off the media, and you got to just enjoy what you have right now, because you won't get today back. After that sun goes down, today's gone. Absolutely gone. You'll never get this day back again. You'll never get this time or anything. So just relax, enjoy. Don't get overwhelmed. I don't want people getting stressed out there. You know, stay small, stay local, you know, do what you can do. And things are just going to be, they're going to be complicated, you know, probably at least, at least for the whole year. I mean, this year is already, it's just write it off. You know what I mean? Do the best you can, do the jobs, take care of your loyal customers, and don't overextend yourself. Don't try to go out there and conquer the world, because you're probably just going to make people mad. And we don't want to do that. We just don't want to do that as contractors. We want to be good, and we want people to recommend us, and we want to do a good job, be loyal, faithful, and honest, and just do the best we can. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to it. I gotta get this van cleaned out so we can take it down to the shop so it can get fixed, and that way we can keep moving. So take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one.